Children's foot pain and what makes children's feet ache during the growing periods. Hi guys, it's Kent the podiatrist from Ergonics here, and we're just going to have a quick chat about what can potentially cause your child's feet to ache and where it can ache during growing periods. So if we think about the growing little foot, it's a little bit different to an adult foot in that it's not completely developed yet. So there's certain components of the foot that are growing and changing in shape compared to the adult foot. So the main one that most people know about is Sever's disease, or the calcaneal apophysis here. So basically the way that this calcaneus grows in length, it grows through this growth plate through here. So what will actually happen is the growth plate will actually get wider and then turn to bone on either end. So that's how this bone actually grows in length. So what happens as the child grows, the muscles stretch tight. So you can imagine if we've got a shin bone and overnight the child grows 2 millimeters, the muscles don't actually know that shin bone has grown 2 millimeters longer. So the muscles will actually stretch tighter and pull harder on their attachments. So in the case of Sever's disease, we've got a muscle attaching to the back of the leg, which is now tighter because your child's grown and stretched the muscle. And then we've got the body weight pushing down in front of the growth plate. So we've got the muscle pulling up, the body weight pulling down, and it shears this growth plate that's actually trying to grow and develop and grow in length. So it just aggravates that area and can become quite inflamed. So this will be the one where children actually limp during the day. There's another very similar scenario to this in the front of the knee, and what happens is that there's a growth center in the knee where the quadricep muscle attaches. So that one's called Osgood-Schlatter's disease. So it's a very similar sort of thing. The quads, the thigh bone will grow, the quads will stretch tighter, and then the attachment site under the kneecap where you've got this characteristic little lump stick out on the underside of the knee, that will become aggravated. So the child is growing, the muscle tightness is increasing, and the body weight's also increasing in a child. So there's more load going through the muscles. So the muscles actually have to work harder, which will cause them to tighten up even further. So there's a few things we need to look at when we're dealing with foot pain and growing pains in children. And that is, what's your foot alignment and how tight are the muscles? They're the two big things. There's also some systemic diseases that can cause problems, but we won't touch on that here because it's going to be mechanical pains that we're dealing with. So if it's a mechanical pain or a foot alignment issue, what we do is we use a soft, full-length orthotic insole. Like this is the Ergonics Kids Fit Sports here. So what this does, if we've got a foot that's grown and our foot is pronating too much, what that does, that creates excessive strain on the muscles to try and hold that foot nice and straight, so it becomes an effective lever for propulsion. So what that does in a growing foot is if we've got these excessive movements and the muscles are working harder than they need to, it just creates a little bit extra strain on the heel. So what we try and do when we've got a child with foot pain or growing pains is we support the feet and stretch off the muscles. So we support the feet with a good shoe and an orthotic insole like this one, and we stretch off the muscles with some gentle calf stretching, and we try and do this as regularly as possible. We start off doing that 3 times a day, morning, noon and night. 30 seconds, 3 times on each side holds for the calf stretching. You can find the instructions for this on our ergonics.com.au website. But what we find that will do is if we can support and cushion the feet, that will help to limit the pain around the heel and the extra damage, and the stretching of the calf muscles will actually help to fix the issue, and the child will actually be able to return to sport within a few weeks. It of course depends on how diligently you're doing the stretches and wearing the orthotic insoles and wearing the shoes, but we find that works really quite effectively in most cases for a child with Sever's disease or Osgood-Schlatter's disease. So a routine of supporting the feet and stretching off the tight muscles will help your child's foot pain during the growing periods. This helps for Sever's disease, arch pain, aching feet and legs, your child just not wanting to walk a long distance, and most other types of mechanical based foot pains. So I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please comment below.